you want to find a good book to read, then snap your fingers and follow me. At Black Girls Inc. will help you find that book, the perfect book for you to read. From black authors that look like you and me, here on Black Girls Inc. with Sister Goose and Sugar Mommy. Here on Black Girls Inc. Hello, 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 everybody. It's your girl, Sister Goose, also known as, I gotta start saying this, y'all. I've been practicing it. So, hey, y'all, it's your girl, Sister Goose, also known as the author of upcoming book, Bless This Mess, Ruth, Volume 1, and welcome to Black Girls Inc. Yes! Sugar Mama's not here with us today, so keep her in your prayers, but we are still going to have a good time, and she's on the sideline. So, look, y'all already know what I am today. I am so, what Mama said on the side? I'm so excited. And I just came at it, okay? Because the author we are going to talk about, I kind of got to spill some tea, y'all. I read the book. I know. But normally I wait, but Sister News read it at a time. And so I'm so excited to talk about her book and ask her some questions. So everybody, please get some fingers together and help me snap in Arthur Montoya. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, how you
Did I say
doing,
your
lady?
name right? Montoya?
Huh?
I just realized that. Did I say your name right?
Montoya, yeah.
Okay, I said it
Yes.
right. Okay, Arthur Montoya, welcome to the show, lady.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've been anxiously waiting, so I'm excited.
Yes, yes. Okay, so look, let's dive right on in, y'all, because I'm ready to get in on this tea and talk about this book. So, can you please tell everyone the title of your book and what it is about?
Okay, my book is called Recipe for Disaster. It's a story of there she showed she showed yes, Recipe for Disaster. Honestly, in the book, if I have to put it in simplest terms without the whole, synopsis, it's a story of perseverance, a story of restoration, it's a story of wear and tear. It's a story of where fear and failure is in the toe while they're trying to move forward. It's a story of love. I have a little comedy in there. It's really, really it's a roller coaster. Like I tell you on the synopsis, dance with your emotions because you're going through it as you're going through it. So I think that's what the sum of the stories. You get both characters. You get David. I give dual narrators. So because I wanted you to see from both perspectives, not just the girl perspective. I wanted you to know the guy perspective as well. So you'll see from when they're dealing with their families to they're dealing with their lives, and even when they're meeting each other, it's not a perfect walk, like in reality and realness. It takes time. Everything it builds. So you go through the whole journey with.
Yes, hold on. It lagged a little bit, but I did hear what you said.
Oh,
Sorry about that, everybody.
oh,
But I did hear what you said though, and
okay, okay.
I wanted to ask you because I found it so interesting. As I said, I read the book, and I actually loved that you gave two different sides of the story, and that I was able, even if you didn't put the title, like the title of the chapter of their name, I still would be able to tell what character was talking in this chapter, who was the leader in this chapter. What made you say, you know what? I'm not just going to write about Jasper. I'm going to write David's part too. I'm going to give you both sides. Like, what made you say that?
I was flying by the seat of my drawers, if you want me to be honest with you, because I was like, because I'm an avid reader myself, well, listener, And to me, I always listen to books and I'm like, I wonder what the guy was saying. What was the guy thinking? And even when I listen to, like, for example, 50 Shades of Grey, I was like, I wonder what he was doing in that. What was he thinking? And I said, okay, I'm gonna try it. It was strictly a try. And then after that, I was like, okay, I feel kind of comfortable because I'm a woman, so I can't write from a man perspective. So it took me to talk to some guys. Okay, they talk more than about balls and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, we got to come up with something unique. And then I just took the chance that was on my heart because I was like, God, I got to be unique and I got to have my book stand out. And a lot of books are written like that nowadays. So I was like, okay, let me take that stand.
I love it. I think you did a wonderful job. I love that you said you did your research. Let's give her some snaps for that. I love it. Our research. I love that you stepped out of the box and said, you know what? I'm gonna try it. It's something new for me. And is this your first book?
Yes, ma'am.
So
This is my
we
first
gotta give
book.
like big kudos to you because not only did you write a book that was something new to you itself, but you gave yourself an extra task and say, I'm gonna write both sides of the
Yes.
story. Okay. And you
Yes.
said, I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna try it, Lord. I'm gonna give it to you in your hands. And you
Yes.
know all you
I
need
would
is
tell
that faith
I
of
would
a
tell
mustard
anybody that,
seed.
I didn't hear you.
I said, and all it takes is that little bit of faith of a mustard seed, and you was able to make this wonderful, beautiful
Yes.
creation right here.
And what no one knows is that it took me 11 years as a total to write the book because I just had a desire. You know what I mean? I kept saying, God, I want to write this book. I want to, and I would, I had children and I'm married and I've been with my husband 26 years and I got 3 children. So I had all these desires back. And then I was like, one of my friends, I was in like a dark area in my own life. And she was like, just write. She went and bought me a whole bunch of writing stuff. And then I was like, God, you just got to guide me. And at that point I was like, okay, like 2006, I was like, okay, just go ahead and jump on in. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I tried to go through a couple publishers and they were declining me, and I'm like, God, that hurt my heart because I thought I had a good story. Then I went back to school. I got my certification of creative writing. Because I have a bachelor's,
Mm.
I went to, yeah, I did the whole church school but I felt like I was not called to stand at a pulpit. I felt like it catapulted me in the love, more of the love atmosphere. Because at the end of the day, I just wanted to talk about love in all its aspects. So after I went back to school, and then I finished school in 2019. And that's when I was like, okay, let me redo my book from a different perspective, from a different everything. From now, I like they say, the iron sharpened iron, because I was able to sit and look at it from a different perspective and make sure that, because I am a woman who walks in love, I wanted you to feel it. I wanted you to feel when Jasper is at her wear and tear moment, or when David is at his what am I going to do and I don't know how to do. I wanted you to feel it so you can get all of that wisdom.
Yes, I definitely did. And let me just tell you, kudos to you on Jasper. I love her character. I love this strong. That's a strong sister, okay? And she is not afraid to speak her
Mm-mm.
mind. I love a woman who's not afraid to speak her mind. Like she speaks her mind and say what's on her mind. And what really got me about Jasper is the love she had for David. I'm not going to tell all of it. This is why Sister Goose can't read books before interviews, y'all, because I'll be trying to spill tea. But what I do love about Jasper, and what I think that a lot of women can relate to with her, is I'm willing to go for love, but I'm not going to let a man stop me from doing what my dreams are or reaching what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I've been through that, and I'm not going to have no man of this love or lust, whatever it is, stop me from what I work hard to get to. I'm gonna keep going for what I want, and that's what I really love about Jasper and
Now
David.
I had to tell people. I, Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say David had me wishy washy. Some days I loved him. Some days I was like, "Get it together, David." Um, I love how you wrote it. That's the point that I wanted to make to you. I really enjoyed the read. So go ahead and say what you have to say. What was you gonna
No,
say?
I was going to be a damsel. I said I didn't want Jasper to be a damsel in distress. I didn't want her to be, because women nowadays, we making money, we got our own lives, we got our own cars, we got our own houses. You didn't need a man to do that for you, So to me, he had to. That was important to me, to display the real woman. Now, I didn't want her to be weak, because at the end of the day, she's been through hell. So a lot of women take that fire and brimstone and drive them forward instead of allowing it to pull them back. So to me, that was important to me, as a, because my first version of the book, she was a weak. As I was sitting there and I was like, we can't allow that to happen. We have to make her 2021, at this point. So I'm happy you enjoyed her
Yes,
character.
yes. And you know what? I just want to say, and I normally snap, but I'm gonna clap for you because it took a while, but you got the book done. There's a lot of
Yes.
people who do it and they never finish it. So it don't matter how many years it took. I'm glad you got it done. And it was meant to happen in the order it did because
Yes.
my sister
In
said
the
she went
time.
back to school and got that creative writing, okay? 2019 class. Hey. Like I'm so proud of you. Like when I heard all that, I was like, okay, this was God's plan. And me and you have something in
Yes.
common because as I said on this show before, I was a youth minister for a while and everything. And when I strayed from God and came back, I thought that my calling would be going back to the pulpit. But God is calling me to be
Hmm.
a minister in the book ministry.
Yes.
That's where my calling
Yes.
is. So my ministry is my book, and I'm preaching to people through my book. So I totally feel the same way as you. So we relating
and
to
and
that.
you have to understand, and you have to understand as well, this is what I had to tell myself, because my book isn't Christian based. And that was probably, I think I actually was in my own head about it, because like they always say, the cliches that we say, we fire baptized and all them terminologies.
Hmm.
I was there. I am saying, want to go out there, and I call God Daddy. I'm sorry. I told God, I said, I don't want to go out there and people judge me or anything like that, because I write a love story. And then I had to, well, I was thinking one day, probably like a couple weeks ago, I had to sit and say, if you ask a painter to sit and say, paint the African American history, you're just not going to paint Oprah Winfrey. You're not just going to paint, Barack Obama. You're not going to
Say
just
that.
going to paint all of the good things. You're going to also talk about the bad things. You're going to talk about the blood in the streets. You're going to talk about even the verdict today. You're going to put all those aspects. And that's why I kept on saying, love is not a walk in the park. Love has its aspects of good and bad. So I wanted to, so that's why I said when I went to school, and it catapults me into the love atmosphere. So to me, that's what I wanted to give you, from all aspects of love. Like I tell you, pressure can either bust pipes or make diamonds. So to me, at the end of the day,
Mm,
love has that aspect of it. Love
that was
has all of
deep.
that.
Yes,
Yeah. So to me,
I
that's
love
the whole point
that.
of working.
Yes, I love everything you're saying. And with these love stories, because as I call us, we the real Christians. The
Okay.
real Christians. And what I mean by real Christians is we believe in love and stuff too. We're everything isn't just that. We're not perfect. We watch TVs,
Hmm.
we read different type of books, but also it takes some of us who God called where we got to meet them where they're at. And them reading your book, they're gonna learn because there's a life lesson in this book. Okay, y'all, you gonna learn
Yes.
something in this book. And them knowing who you are when they read the book and seeing how good it is, and be like, hold up, and she's a woman of God, and she wrote this
Hmm.
book for people who don't know God. You done planted a seed with that alone. Because there's like, I
Yeah.
didn't know that Christians can write a good book like this. So,
Okay.
exactly. So, toodles to you, my sister. for meeting them where they at. And you planted a seed in them, and they don't even know that you're doing it.
Okay.
They don't even
and see,
know.
I tell, and see, I tell, and I tell people, I said to me, I tell because my pastor wanted to interview me, and I kept on saying, "Oh Lord, not my pastor," but I had to explain to him. I said to me, Pastor, I said, if I can get one woman to say that gives them hope in the midst of it all, because I've sat on the canvas of a lot of women pain that have given up on love, that has given up, that have the situations that they've been in, they're temporary situations, they made permanent decisions to give up on everything. So to me, I've had women tell me, oh, the book made me okay, it gave me hope again, because Jasper came from a very dark place. I opened it to let you
Yes,
know it is not it's not like, oh, fairy tale. Yes, I'm fairy tale and unicorns and everything. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I had to give it from a perspective that was real. And she was in a dark place. She made a decision that haunts her. She even had the scars to show for it. So I wanted to make sure that even if you carry scars, it don't mean that, like I always say, you take that, don't take a step back, get ready to a comeback. Life does not end because of that one decision, or even multiple decisions, or to keep you keep making mistakes. Get up. Life goes on. Get back into the game. It's not the end.
I agree. Girl, you preaching up in here. Girl, don't make me shout because I'm about to. Okay? So, what do you want your readers, once they read this book? You basically said it, but if you want to put some more icing on this cake, what do you hope that the readers get after reading this book, male and female?
I think both of them. I want them both to get hope in the midst of it, because at the end of the day, I give you where they both. I mean, honestly, even with David, because we so focus on Jasper. With David, he made the
Yes,
ultimate decision where he was like,
yes,
okay, I'm leaving everybody for this woman, and to realize that it was trickery on her part. So to give up your family, your destiny, your dynasty, and everything, to come back, it's wear and tear, and all of the parts that they were so hateful towards him. That's where I wanted people to see. Get back in the game. That's why even when you go through the book, you'll get there where Jasper is at her lowest of lowest, where she goes and talks to her grandmother, and her grandmother reminds her of all of her past victories. I want people to be able to go and listen, read this book, and say, "Okay, I remember that myself." And I remember because the grandmama went to the
yes.
whole conversation of the arm being broken, and you came through it all, and all these different emotions. I just want people to be able to find hope in the midst of chaos, hope in the midst of failure, hope in the midst of it all. That's my deepest desire, because that's what they both came out of this. Even when David wanted to give up and he had his brother remind him, don't drown your current relationship in the tainted waters of your past.
Yes.
All these different situations that they both were wanting to jump ship, because it's easier to jump ship than to stick and stay and see, okay, maybe I need to change on the journey instead of ever getting things done. So that's what pretty much I want you to get from my book. Just the love, the hope, the laughter, the roller coaster of emotions, the anger, everything. I want it all. You get it all in that one book.
Yes. Okay. So my next question for you is, when did you fall in love with writing?
I was bullied as a kid, so I rested on the canvas of my imagination a lot.
Mm,
As a kid, for fairy tales, and I hate to say it, but I love Johnny Gill. I've loved him since I was 13, so I've always had that, mind. Okay, me and Johnny Gill and all of that, in the storylines. So it was always there. Probably I would say about 13, when I used to sit in my mom and dad car and I would daydream that I was leaving, but I was going to my boyfriend or my, husband house and all that different stuff. So I think even though the bullying was bad at the time, I appreciate it now. Okay, because it helped me be the
yes.
great woman I am now.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that. We got that in common too. I'm a big imaginary person. imaginator. I
Yes.
still do.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I love that. Okay. So we're gonna start getting into questions a little deeper about you because we want to get to know you more as the author too.
Oh no.
So
Oh no.
what do all good questions, all good questions, I promise.
Okay.
So what do you love so far about being an author since this is your first book and people have gotten it in their hands and they're reading it? What do you love so far about being an author?
I think I think because I've sold about over like a little over 100 books, and I think I still can't get it in my head that they're reading what I wrote. You know what I mean? Because it's just me. I sit there and I'll say it's just me. Um, I love the whole fact that when they tell me, like I said, the person told me that it gave her hope, and or the person was like, you hijacked my emotions. I'm like, okay, I don't know if that's a compliment or are you really angry, but but to me, just to see people to fall in love with the characters, or even like because Kim, you have my one of the side Kim and the theatrics, her and the Ambers, and when people be like Amber, that made me angry, and I'm like, okay, you do know they're just fake, right? They're not real. So
Right.
just to see all of that, and just to see it, actually happen, because it was just a jump off the cliff and see what happened. If you're going to do it, do it. And to go to
Yes.
school and to sit there for a minute, and then I'm here, you know what I mean? And I'm working on book 2, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, just the exciting
Yes. That's good. And look,
part.
people when you have people into your book where they are talking to you like the characters are real, girl, you sitting on gold. That means you did it right. Cause to me, look, when
Well,
they talk to me about my characters, I be like, they real to me. That's right. They
okay.
real to me. Yes, they is. So that's good. I love
Thank you for
that.
that. I'll make sure I say that one. Thank you for that.
Yes. Is there any like one comment or anything that you might have got for a reader that really touched you as an author?
I think hearing, it's not one, but I think just hearing that the characters are relatable, because that was something that when I originally tried to go to, because I ended up self-publishing, but I when I went to the oh God, the publisher, to try to get my book, there was like, oh, your characters are stale, the conversation, and I did not understand at the time, and they were like, your conversation is stale, and what you're showing and not telling, you're telling and not showing technologies mean. And so to hear people say, I had that situation, or I was able to relate, because me and my friends, because also, not just do you get the love story, but then you get the sisterhood between the 3 girls,
Yes.
as well. So to me, to hear a lot of women say they are able to relate because that girl did this and their friends did that, and blah blah blah. Those moments of, I was, by the grace of God, I was able to touch into something that was, kind of like, oh, in the world, they were more or less saying, well, it's not there. But I went back and went to school and sharpened my tools. Now I can sit and say, okay, I learned it. Okay, now I can make it relatable. Now people understand. So that's pretty much it when I think about it, just to know that it's relatable and they can understand it, and they take it with them, or they want to cook like Jasper, like somebody told me. I said, okay.
And
So
she can
yeah.
cook though. She can. I have to say the part that really inspired me about your story is when you got them rejection, because a lot of us don't take well to rejection. And when you
Hmm.
got the rejection, what I love about your story is you didn't give up. You went to go and
Hmm.
sharpen your tools and learn what you needed to learn to perfect it. Because a lot of people,
Yes,
when you get some rejections, they just be like, well, you know what? Maybe this ain't what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna just let it be. But
exactly.
that was not the case for you. You knew this is what you was meant to do, and you said, you know what, Lord, I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna learn what I need to learn, sharpen up some tools, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you that this is what I'm meant to do. I'm gonna do better, and you get to see your own growth. Like I love how you even say I got to see my own growth and polish it up and make it more better for me. And I think that's amazing. That's a
And
testimony.
see, people got to understand. And see, people have to understand that God allow rejection sometimes to make you go harder. Because to me, at that moment, I cried because I was, oh my God, what's wrong? Blah, blah, blah. And then a friend was like, then go back to school. Go to school and learn. I'm thinking, but what does that mean? You know, and to me, it was my foundation. I needed to go. You can't, they're not going, I say it like this right here. They're not going to let a doctor go into the operating room, a physician go into the operating room, and he ain't got no tools, and he ain't got no lesson, and he ain't got no knowledge on how to even do the procedure. And that's the way that I actually took it. You're trying to go into a profession that you don't even have a foundation for. It required me to go to school. It required me to learn which tool to use and which tool not to use, which when you're writing this character, make it like this. It took me to learn all the rejection. I quit school probably every week. I'm gonna keep it 100. I was quitting every week because it felt like they were drawing on me, but now I know that they were building in me, not drawing from me. You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
now I feel like I'm a better writer from it. I talk the way I write. So to me, I never realized that neither. I talk the way I write. So it is what it is. God just showed me how to build it and make it progressive.
Oh, we lagged a little bit. There you go. Say that one last part again because it lagged a little bit. I want to make sure they hear you.
I said, girl, I forgot. I was just talking. I said, God allowed me to go
It's
through
all
that
right.
because I said that when I went to school, it felt like because I quit every week, and I said at the end of the day, it felt like they were pulling on me, but they were building in me. So God showed me how to progress forward by allowing everything. Because my teacher would be like, "That sound good. That was bad." You know what I mean? I was like, "Okay." I grabbed back even and even as I have already started writing, and even when I was in this book, I wanted to quit as well. But every morning I get back up and I'm in that on that laptop. So to me, at the end of the day, when you got that hunger, you gotta keep going.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And I hope the people who are watching that when they hear your story, they know that being a writer is not easy, y'all. It takes work to be
Mm-mm.
an author too, because I don't know why people think it's so easy just to write and do a book. It takes work. We are hard workers,
No,
just
it's
like
not easy.
everybody else. Yes. So hearing
And then
your
I'm an
story, I'm
emotional
sure it's
writer.
yeah, me too. So hearing your story, I know is going to encourage a lot of people because, as I said, a lot of us had a hard time with writing our books, starting our books, and wanted to give up. You just gave a testimony to pull them people to let them know don't give up, invest in you, make yourself stronger, sharpen them tools, and come do it again. So I still gotta give snaps to that because
Like to
that's
me,
powerful to me. If
listen
I
to
didn't get
books,
that, then I just
read
let that flow over.
you
Yes.
gotta listen
So
to a lot. You gotta read a lot of books. To me, what I did also is I took time to read other books. I took time to see how they set up a scene, and because the school can be your foundation, but now it's time to build the house. So let's start looking at how other people what make their story great. Like to me, I was able to come up with the formula to make it time to rest. You're gonna get to that next page because you don't have to because I've seen such great authors that does it.
yes, I totally agree. As we always say on Black Girls and Men's Inc., make sure you do your homework, people. Even Sister
Yes.
Goose got to do that. Do your homework, find out that genre that you're writing, check out a couple, as she said, so you can see, not take their stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I just have to
No,
make that clear.
no.
Don't take nobody's stuff, but just use an example to see so you can find your own style of how you want to do it. That was very good advice, Montoya. Thank you. So,
You're
what
welcome.
other things? Because you got a lot of hats. You's a mama. You's a
Wife,
student.
I'm
You
everything.
take care of the house, the wife. So, what other things are you involved in or you do other than just writing?
I'm involved in these kids 24/7. I feel like I never get a break. It's just my husband. I feel like they're. I was telling because I'm getting my book ready, yo. I was telling the guy, I said, shoot, I don't have no time. Okay, everything is borrowed time for me, So I mean, with the exception of being a part of like our book club at our church, family stuff and extended family stuff. I try to rest as much as possible, but it never happens because I'm either writing or I'm thinking. This is a full time job. This is what I tell people. This is a full time job.
It really
So
is.
yes, because you're always thinking, and that's what you got to learn to accept that. Because I mean, I have to learn to shut it off when I'm talking to my husband because I'll be like, "Oh, that was a good idea. I'm listening." So that's the only negative about that, So, or the kids talking to you, and you're like, "Mama, you said I
Mhm.
could do it. When did I say you could do it? Because you done checked out,
I remember saying
So
that. Yeah,
exactly,
that be me. That be me. I look, my husband's in
exactly,
the background. He like, mm-hmm. He like, yeah,
exactly.
that's you. I know, but that's creative minds, and being a
Hmm.
mama, trying to keep up with everything, the kids, the husbands, the house, and all. I totally understand. What tips would you give
Yes.
for mothers and wives out there who want to write their book? Like, what's a good tip you would give them towards writing their book?
You're gonna have you're first of all, just let's call a spade a spade. You'll never have time because the kids gonna always need you. They're gonna always. So what I've done for myself personally is my children knows after everybody's in the house and everybody done ate. Okay, I'm gonna sneak off about an hour and try to write. Is it or you might have to wait today. I'll make you tired, especially if you're a full time worker, because I'm a full time worker as well. Have to be up at 5. So to go to bed 11 to 12 is like, oh my goodness. But to me, I think I look at it as you're just doing all of that right now because eventually you're gonna get to that happy place where you'll be able to not have to worry about balancing everything because your kids is not going to be little forever and by the grace of God you'll be able to have a full time, you'll be able to you'll be able to write full time and maybe have a part-time job or not, or you have your husband be able to take care of the whole family. So to me at the end of the day, that's what my mind is at. That's what on Mondays I've just told myself on Mondays I'm not gonna write. And you have to put yourself on that where you keep like a little notebook or get your phone and make sure you write down because we're really bad with, okay, I can remember that. I'll remember that. No, you're not, because life is gonna happen and you're gonna have 50, 11 conversations within that whole time frame. And so you can give that up.
Right.
So to me, keep a notebook. Like they tell you when you're a Christian, keep a notebook on the side in case God want to tell you something. I say that also for writers, keep a notebook on the side of the bed as well, writing that book with conversations. So you'll be fine.
I agree. Look, I type half of my book on the phone as my kids is
Mm,
playing. When we go to the park,
yes.
let them play. I'm typing, I'm watching. I'm typing, I'm watching.
Okay.
They playing they look. My kids play video games now, so my laptop's on the table while they playing their video
Yeah.
games. So I totally
Yes.
get it.
Yes.
We gotta make it the time where we
You
can
gotta make
sit
it do
in.
what it do. Like
We
I say, you
gotta
gotta
do
make it do what it do.
it where we can. Yes, yes, yes. So you know how we are on Black Girls Inc. Because I know you be watching us, so I know you won't be surprised when I tell you that I'm a little parched and I'm a little thirsty, and I can use a little bit of tea about what's going to be next for you. Like, can you give us some tea? My cup is dry, and I would like you to pour me a little bit of tea in my cup and let us know what's next for you. Because I heard you say you working on a second book, which I'm excited
Yes.
to hear. Because I was going to ask you that
Yes.
question. So we got a second book coming. You said,
Yes, and I'll give you this tea. Okay. In the second book,
okay.
and I know the readers are gonna be mad, but my daughter just said don't say too much because she knows everything. She's underneath me literally. Mama, what you doing now? But anyways, the second book, the little bit of tea that I can give is the book is called Diluted. Okay, it's called Diluted, and in there, like I said, you can eat diamonds or the pipes will bust. And there's so much going on because at the end of, I tell people at the end, it's not a cliffhanger. So let me make sure that the readers know that it's not a cliffhanger. It's like more or less like a buffet. When you go to the buffet, you eat, you're going to want to eat again. So, but you satisfied after you eat the first time. So that's what I call it. It's like a buffet, so you'll be satisfied after you eat it, after you get through with it. I opened the door to a lot of things, such as the new guys. You have that element. Also, I'll give you this tidbit. The one named Kim gets a boyfriend, and you know how crazy she is. So that is
Oh,
enough to make
somebody dating
Jasper.
Kim?
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Huh?
I said somebody gonna date Kim. Oh Lord.
Yeah, somebody's gonna date Kim, but they don't know. And no one, unless you've read the book, knows she's a tick tick boom. So also, you got Lenny does come back in the second book. So I'll give you that, and that's all.
Woo! So she done gave me a buffet and some tea, y'all. So I am full. My cup just over
And you
with
give you
the
dessert.
tea, and you gave me some
If
little
you also if you've
dessert.
read the book, it will you that's some good stuff.
Okay, so normally I wipe my mouth after some good tea, but since you gave me tea and some juicy food with it, I'm gonna suck my fingers on that one and say thank you. Thank you for that delicious tea that you just served to
Anytime.
me. So, um,
Anytime.
so I want to know, is there any tips or any advice that you would give any upcoming authors, or let's say authors like you who are sitting on their story right now and they've been sitting on it for a long time? Like, what
Mm.
tips would you give them to go back to writing and finishing that story?
I'll say this. Recipe Disaster was just a dream. Okay. I could have quit at 2006 when I got that rejection. But at the end of the day, it was a story that was brewing in me that I just knew God wanted me to get it out there. And it's because I think God wanted me to show that love is not perfect. He's perfect, but love is not perfect when it comes from the human perspective per se. Because you got flaws, you got letdowns, you got all kinds of stuff like that goes in. That's natural. And I wanted to show your story will help someone. Like to me, that person told me that my story gave them hope. Picture if I never wrote that. You know what I mean? That's why I tell you, your story have a purpose. I say it like this right here. Your story, what God will make room for your talent. So you won't say, oh, my book is like this, and my book because Montoya wrote a romantic comedy. How many people wrote romantic comedies? A lot of people wrote romantic comedies. But at the end of the day, but they can't write it like me. And that's where I know my gift made room for me. And no, it's not a top seller yet, but it will be there in the name of Jesus because my voice and my drive and my thing is all being given from God. I'm strictly functioning from a perspective that is a little different because I'm but at the end of the day, everything I write, you'll be able to feel God in it. You'll be able to see his face somewhere in it, even if it's just in them persevering, just in them getting hope. Just your story don't have to be perfect to man, it just have to be perfectly what God gave you. You can't sit on that. Somebody is waiting for it. Your story
Mhm.
is it's unfair and you being selfish by not putting it out there. It's easier said than done. Yes, I know because I've learned a world that I did not know exists.
Me too.
All of everybody laughing, me focused. What keeps me going is that I got a God behind me pushing me. I can't quit.
Yes, that was good. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. Okay, so before we go to tea time, I want to ask for all of your readers and all of your future readers, what do you want them to know about Montoya as the person and not
The
the
person
author? What do you want them to know about you?
that what I want you to know about Montoya is that she persevered as well. Even though she's been with her husband for 26 years, doesn't mean that she hasn't been through pain. She hasn't dealt with loneliness. She hasn't dealt with anything that people would discredit me for because, oh, you've been married forever doesn't mean anything. I've
Mm,
sat and I've mentored and I've done all of that with women who has been hurting, and I'm the type of person, I always say I'm an empath. I feel what you feel and I want to save you. I'm the one that'll go get the lifeguard to come and save you. At the end of the day,
yes.
when it comes to Montoya, I'm a walking heart. Like at the end of my bio, it actually says, what does love have to do with it? Everything. I can find love in the midst of chaos. Like I said, I find hope in the midst of hopelessness. I'm the one that will encourage. That's who Montoya is. My family called me the walking heart because I will care and I will be there. You know what I mean? So that's Montoya. That's why. So when I wrote Jasper and I wrote that, that was because I wanted to make sure that there's perseverance and there's hope and there's encouragement and that. Montoya have wanted to quit and Montoya wanted to give up. Montoya wanted to do all those things. But I too, even though I'm shy as can be, I wanted to move forward. I wanted greater. I wanted to see what was at the end of this finish line. All of those different things. So that's the reason why I move forward. I could tell a person when you want to quit, keep going, because this is not the end. Anytime you have a setback, don't take a step back, get ready for a comeback, because this is not the end. You know what I mean? That's Montoya. Don't let that temporary situation
Hey, hey,
keep it
hey.
moving. That's okay. Let me stop. But yeah, that's Montoya.
Nah, girl, that
That's
was
Montoya.
good. That was good. And that's what you call taking them to church on Black Girls Inc. Y'all. That's what you call taking them to church. That was good. Don't ever apologize for sharing your story and your testimony. I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. So before we get to our favorite part of the show, tea time, I just want to remind everyone of our announcement that we are doing our Arthur's book raffle where you can cash app us $10 at Black Girls Inc. 20 to put your book in the Arthur's raffle to win a chance for your book to be chosen for our private book club to read your book. And just with your book being in that raffle, automatically you just got yourself some free advertisement because we're going to acknowledge the books who are in the raffle to keep counting down until the deadline. And then if your book get chosen, we are going to purchase your book. We're going to leave you some book reviews and we're going to have you come back on here for an interview with a little twist to it. Okay, we're going to have a little twist to it. Yes, we is.
Okay,
So
holla.
make sure you jump on this opportunity for this Arthur raffle where you can cash app us right at the bottom on the screen. The $ Black Girls Inc. 20 for the Arthur's raffle. And there is no limit. You can put your book in the raffle as many times as you want. And your friends can even donate again to put your book in the raffle for there for you if they want to. So if you want to get your friends on board and be like, hey, help me get my book in there more than once, that's up to you. All right. I'm very excited about this Arthur's raffle. I can't wait to see what book will be chosen. And let's just highlight some of the books that we have in our Arthur's raffle so far. So, so far, and let me get to it, we have the book Kane will be in our Arthur's raffle by our Black Girls Inc. member. Yes. So by Miss Jenkins, book is in the Arthur's raffle, and we could have a chance to read Kane. So I'm excited about that book. That book is actually a good book. And also, our one and truly who is here right now, we will have a chance to maybe even read her book. Hello, Recipe for Disaster. She is also in the Arthur's raffle. And if you enjoyed this interview, then you need to be excited because we might be reading her book for our book club, y'all. So you might want to jump in on this change, y'all. Okay, this is a good book. is a wonderful opportunity for Black authors, and Sister Goose's book will not be in there. This is all for you guys, not for me. It's for y'all because we want to acknowledge our Black self-published authors or authors who's published from low unknown publishing company, just to show that you guys are just as important as any other author and deserve a book club as well to read your book, and that you are no less than anybody else. The only difference is your book just haven't been discovered yet.
Basically. Hmm.
Yes. So, with that being said, it's our favorite time of the episode, Montoya. It's
Well, yeah.
tea time. Are you ready for tea time?
Oh, go ahead.
It's going to be fun, I promise you. Tea time, for those who do not know, is when we take the author's book and we either use the title or a phrase or something that happened in the book and we make a topic off of it that we talk about freely. So, for Montoya's tea time question for tonight's tea time is, what was a recipe of disaster moment in your life? What was
Well,
a
you would use
recipe
the title.
disaster moment in your life? And because I know you might be a little nervous and you need a time to think, because you know I popped this up on you, I will go first. Okay,
Okay.
I got you. Let me drink my ginger ale for this one. So my recipe of disaster story, a moment in my life, was when I was a kid. My dad let my sister ride on his motorcycle, and my mom did not want her to ride on the motorcycle. So I had to keep it a secret. Now, mind
Ooh.
you, I was like 7. I think I was like 7, 6, 7, 8, between 6 and 8. And I was not good at keeping secrets. So,
Okay.
my dad and my sister's like, you can't tell. You better not tell. So I didn't tell, girl. I kept this secret for a year, okay? I didn't say a
Oh, you
dag
did.
on. Yes, I kept it for a year because I wanted to prove I can keep a secret, and y'all ain't gonna keep making me feel like I can't keep no secret. Well, now I feel bad that I felt like I shouldn't have kept the secret, because when my dad asked could my sister ride the bike, and my mom finally said yes, she hopped on the bike, got on there, and they drove off. And my mom, being a mother, was like, she didn't even ask them how to get on the bike. She just hopped on there like she knew what she was doing. Barbie, come here, let me talk to you. I was like, oh shoot, she wanna talk to me. And she's like, did your sister ride the bike before? Now I was gonna hold it down, okay? Because I said I was gonna tell. I ain't no snitch. So her and my aunts questioning me with 50 million questions, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't know. That's all I kept answering. So then my mom pulled out the big guns, and she was like, well, if I find out that you and your sister's going down together. So then that's when I was like, shoot, mom, she was riding the bike last year. It was at the I couldn't hold it in no more. I tried my best. That was my
See,
recipe of disaster. I got pulled into a situation. But it wasn't that bad. My mom wasn't all mad about it. She talked to my sister and was like, y'all should have told me and stuff, but it wasn't nothing super crazy. But that still is my recipe of disaster because I'm the one who got
man.
investigated on. She was out having fun riding a daggone bike for 30, 40 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Enjoying
So that was
herself.
my recipe of disaster. So what's
Well,
yours,
I I got a funny one though, because I try to find humor in everything. I think for me when we were younger, and I didn't even say it, but we didn't have big breasts, so it was like we went to Target where they give the little fake inserts, and we were all out. I mean, now I got enough where I could have just held off, but anyways, we I literally took the little fake fake want to see some boys, and I'm like, ooh, we the boys is gonna come over, and then I'm sitting up there and I'm posing because I want everybody to see what I'm doing, and I'm posing with it and everything. And then my friend was like, you missing something in the front there. And I didn't know I literally looked like a little boy with something coming out over his side, and we going around looking for the insert while the boys is talking to us. That's probably the worst. Yeah, we up
Ooh,
they but I thought I was cute though. As I was posing, I was all like this. I was making sure they saw them. Didn't even know one was missing, But but that was my. I looked really cute. I even wore a tight shirt so I can make sure that they could be even plump and everything. Shoot, child, please.
right? You
Now
was
that I know
making sure they
better.
could see all the cars. Dang.
Okay, didn't even know. Yeah, but that was my recipe for disaster.
I
Just
feel
silliness that
so
I.
bad for you on that. Wow, look, we both got caught up in a situation. No, no,
Okay,
no.
literally that we didn't need to be in. Okay.
Yeah, that's man. I feel for you on that. Well, look, y'all. If you enjoyed the topic that we just talked about on tea time for this recipe of disaster, then you need to make sure that you go get your copy and read about Jasper and David's recipe of disaster. Because that's what tea time is for. Okay? To get you prepared for this book you about to read, because that juicy topic was based off of this book. So, Arthur Montoya, can you please let everyone know where they can go and buy your book and where they can go follow you on social media and everything? Go ahead, girl. Spill them all the tea of where they can find you.
Well, I'm under Montoya, author Montoya on Facebook and Instagram. You'll see a lot of love stuff because that's my thing. So a lot of love things under my Montoya, author Montoya. As far as the book, you can get the ebook or you can get the actual book on Amazon as well. So that's the beauty thing.
Yes.
So
And
I'm
every
trying to extend though. I'm trying to extend to more social media, but right now it's just Instagram and Facebook.
That's fine. That is fine. Look, you got to start somewhere. And if you do get a book, I
Yes,
encourage you, as we always do on Black Girls Inc., please make sure you leave the author a review. Let them know what
please,
you think
please.
about their book. Let them know what you enjoy about it. If there's something you didn't like about it, still let them know. Leave a review and let them, get a piece of your mind of what you felt about what they put into this lovely book that you guys took the time to read. We enjoy
Yes,
the
please.
phone call and the messages, but we would love your reviews so other people can see it too. Because a lot of people read reviews before they purchase. So we are counting on you. So help out our Black authors and make sure you leave reviews. So Arthur Montoya, I am so happy you came here today. I had a good time with you.
Thank you for even having me. I appreciate it. I was excited to even come. Like I said, I'm a fan.
Yes. So look, I know you watch this show, so I'm wondering, do you know what this means that I interviewed you?
No, I don't remember. I'm sorry. My mind is five places. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. I got you. I'm glad you don't remember because then it could be like a
I
moment.
think with my
'Cause you are now a Black Girls Inc. member. Not for yourself for life. Not for yourself. Yes, and when
I
you are a
appreciate it.
Black
It's an
girl,
honor. It's an
yes,
honor.
when you're a Black Girls Inc. member, that means you are always welcome to come back. So whenever you
Oh,
do
okay.
finish that second book, let us know ahead of time. Even if you know your release date, let us know. We can even interview you on your release date. Let us know
Oh,
when your
okay.
book come out. We would love to have you back.
That's awesome.
Even do Yeah, we even do Arthur panels. We don't just interview Arthurs. We do author panels as well, where we have authors come together and we talk about stuff, freely on either their genre or something that your books have in common. And I think that we would love to
Okay.
have her on the panel for the romance panel. For I had to go through some ish to write this love story.
Yes,
I think
that's
we
that's
might
my
need you
thing.
for that. I had to go through some ish to write this romance. So
Hey, I'm out
we're gonna
here.
add you to that panel. Put it on here right now. So we will make sure that we contact you when we do that panel. Thank you so much for coming to
But
this.
don't forget we were giving away books. Remember, I offered 2 books. I don't know how
Oh
you want to
yes,
do it.
yes, yes. She offered to give away 2 books. So what I will do for my birthday,
Ebook or
yeah. So for my birthday weekend, we will give away those books because my birthday is May 1st.
just
So we'll give away books
okay.
for my birthday weekend. And we thank Arthur Montoya for donating them 2 books to give
Montoya.
away. I'm sorry, Montoya. I have a friend named Montoya, and that's why I keep saying Montoya instead of Montoya, y'all. So we will make sure, though, that we give those books away to celebrate my birthday. And I thank you. Look, I'm taking
Okay.
that as a birthday gift that Arthur Montoya, she gave us some books to give away. So thank you. Thank you for my birthday gift.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, everybody, make sure that you go follow Arthur Montoya on Facebook, IG, and make sure that you go and purchase her book, The Recipe of Disaster, which is available on Amazon on paperback or ebook.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
And it'll be on audio soon, just very soon. That's what I'm getting it on now.
She gave us tea
Yes.
before
And
she left. Look at that. She gave us some good tea. Girl, I had to do that real quick. She gave us some more good tea before she left. Well, everybody, I am your girl, Sister Goose, and we are Black Girls Inc. Snap you later.